You're listening to Beyond Wellness Radio, bringing you the cutting edge in health, biohacking, and sports performance. Stay up to date and listen anywhere and anytime on your computer, tablet, or smartphone by subscribing on iTunes. Catch your host, Dr. Justin Marchegiani, as he answers your burning health questions as well as interviews from world-renowned guest experts. For more Beyond Wellness Radio, go to beyondwellnessradio.com.
Hey there, it's Dr. Justin Marchegiani. Welcome to Beyond Wellness Radio. Feel free and head over to beyondwellnessradio.com where you can access our full podcast transcriptions. While you're there, you can also sign up for our thyroid and female hormone video series. This series goes into the root cause of why your hormones are out of balance. While you're there, you can also schedule a functional medicine consult with Dr. Justin, myself, where we'll dig deeper into the root cause of your health challenges. Feel free and think of sharing this podcast with at least one person. This podcast grows by people sharing it. Sharing is caring. If you can think of one person that can benefit from this information, please feel free and share it. If you're enjoying the podcast, make sure you subscribe on iTunes. You can also click below the video or podcast where you'll see the iTunes review button and leave us a review. You can also sign up for the newsletter at beyondwellnessradio.com where you'll get updates before anyone else. Thank you so much and enjoy the show.
Evan, it's Dr. J, man. What'd you have for brekkie?
What did I have? Oh, I cooked a bison burger.
Bison. Nice.
I ate probably about 8 ounces. I took a pound of bison, cut it up into 4 sections, so I had about 4-ounce patties, and I ate 2 of them. I put some aminos on there with some different spices and seasonings. It was great.
That's awesome, man.
And I did some organic blue corn chips.
So Jeopardy question of the day, how many grams of protein were in those 8 ounces of bison meat? What do you think?
That's a good question. I'm going to say about 30 grams.
I would guess a little more. Typically
Really?
about 4 ounces would be about 25 to 30. So I would say probably closer to 50-ish.
Wow.
I could be wrong.
That's good.
Yeah, I've done a couple
look it
blog
up.
posts on that. So we'll have to have that like our kind of trivia for the week if anyone can get it exactly right.
What do they win?
Can't use Google. They win a consult with you.
Hey, that's a pretty big prize right
Pretty
there.
big prize, absolutely. So I had coffee with some butter and MCT, which was great, kind of my staple in the morning. Before that, I actually had some bone broth. Well, my wife actually made a stew last night. She put I think it was a big pork shoulder with the bone in, with some vegetables. We did some onions. We did some carrots. We did some celery. And then we did some broth with a little bit of apple cider vinegar to help kind of pull some of the minerals out of the bone, a little bit of sea salt. And I just had maybe 4 or 5 ounces of meat and some vegetables and some broth. It was great. And then my coffee and then some of my adaptogens and supplements. And I'm rocking it, man. Just in between patients here. Had 4 patients this morning. And then I got you here. And then I got 7 more patients this afternoon or 8 more patients this afternoon.
Good Lord. It's a busy day, but we're rolling right along.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, this is fun for me. I know it's fun for you too.
Oh, yeah, it's a blast.
Cool. Well, today we're talking about probiotics a bit. I'm excited. What a great topic to talk about. Anything you want to add off the bat?
Well, so probiotics are a foundation for me in terms of helping people. It's almost like nutritional insurance, like a good quality multi-nutrient or multi-mineral, multivitamin. I would almost consider a probiotic a multivitamin in a way to basically ward off all of these other issues that we have. There's the link between the gut and the brain that we know about. And I found some research that's even talking about anxiety being helped by having a good amount of certain probiotics. So who knows what we don't know about bacteria and what it can do for us in terms of our health.
Absolutely. Well, let's kind of dig in. So probiotics, what are they? Well, essentially they're beneficial bacteria, right? You take the word pro, that's beneficial or for, and then biotic means life. So it's a life-affirming type of bacteria. It's beneficial. We like that. And probiotics have a lot of different benefits. They actually produce nutrients. They actually help stimulate the production of B12, butyrate, and vitamin K2, which is super important. Right? Butyrate's that same fat and butter. I love this little factoid, but vegetarians and vegans don't understand, but with good beneficial bacteria, they're taking a lot of that plant matter they're eating and they're actually turning it into butyrate, the same fat and butter. So it's like, hey, you can ferment it and you can ruminate out the butyrate in your gut, or you can just actually eat the real thing, which I prefer to eat that smooth goodness. Don't you?
Amen.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Love it. So we have vitamin K2, right? We have B vitamins. We have B12 production. Not that it actually produces it, but it helps absorb it, because B12 it's bound to this protein in the stomach called intrinsic factor, and then we reabsorb it at the end of our small intestine called the ileum. So it's really important for B12 absorption. We get small chain fatty acids, right? This is like butter. Butter is a small chain fatty acid. We get other healthy fatty acids. We get a lot of our immune cells modulated. IgA is one of these important immune cells that lines our gut. And then also beneficial bacteria eats poop and poops nutrients, where bad bacteria eats nutrients and poops poop. So it's kind of like a tongue twister in your head, right? But if you think about it, good bacteria spits out nutrients, bad bacteria steals your nutrients and steals your nutrients and spits out toxins. So we'd rather have the latter. We'd rather have the toxins going into good nutrients.
Maybe should we talk about what destroys good bacteria in the first place, how people get themselves in trouble with overgrowth and things like that?
Yeah, so we kind of just went over the benefits, right? Right? That's important. Gut lining, nutrients, right? It's going to help with good gut motility. Keeping the gut moving is important, because if it's not moving, we reabsorb toxins. This is called auto-intoxication. So these are all important pieces. Now, to your point, let's talk about what actually hurts it. So some of the big things that's going to hurt it are going to be antibiotics. It kind of makes sense, right? One's pro, one's anti. So antibiotics are a big one, especially if you're not following up with probiotics. You then create this rebound overgrowth of more bad bacteria or more fungus, which can make that lower probiotic issue even worse. I would say overconsumption of sugar. I would say having water that's unfiltered where there's chlorine in it and such. Pesticides and or GMO foods are going to be bad, because pesticides kill bacteria in general, including good bacteria. I'd say gut infections are going to weaken the gut tract. It's going to skew that bad bacteria to good bacteria ratio. And then it's also going to cause low enzyme and hydrochloric acid levels, which if we can't break down our food, it sits in our tummy and rots and putrefies and rancidifies and creates more stress. And then obviously, grains and refined foods and, medications and such, all the chemicals and the medications and gluten and such. Do you want to add anything?
Yeah, I would even go a step further and say adrenal issues could be tied in, because if you're stuck in sympathetic, you're in that fight or flight all the time, and now you're not actually producing enough HCl. To me, it seems like at the top of the food chain, if you're stuck in that mode, you're not going to be able to have the same healthy digestion in the first place. It's going to be able to break down your food. And everybody that has adrenal fatigue, a lot of the times, and I know you see this too, digestive issues come along with that, because the body's trying to run from the tiger and is not actually absorbing and breaking down all the amino acids and assimilating it and things like that.
Absolutely. So those are some of the big things off the bat. Filtered water, eat organic food, cut out the sugar, only use antibiotics with life-saving situations if you really need it. If not, use herbs. And then try to get fermented foods in your diet. I'd also say not getting enough fermented foods. So let's run down some beneficial fermented foods.
Kombucha is I love kombucha. It's the easiest way for me, because I don't have to eat anything. I just get to drink it. So you and I talk about our love for GT Dave's because of the low sugar content. And I like raw cheese too. I'm actually okay with dairy. I had some last night. We did a bison stew actually last night. We took some Pacific. They have a bison broth, so we used that as our base, and we did some stew, and I just added a couple chunks of some raw cheese into the stew, and it was all melty and gooey. Oh, it's amazing.
Are you sure you're able to handle it?
I think so. We'll see
what
happens.
Because I'm tempted to give you like 5 paleo demerits right now, but I'm holding back.
I know what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, so I've cut it out for 6 weeks.
And you added it back in. You did okay?
Yeah, and I did okay.
Okay. Yeah, myself, like I did. I had a patient get me like a big gallon of raw milk last year, And I wasn't sick the whole year. I was feeling great. And then I had a couple glasses of that raw milk. And the next day I was sick for 2 days. And
What
I was
happened?
like, whoa, just sore throat, like super runny nose. Just like it kind of just hit me all of a sudden. And it really came in and around just, I would say, within 12 hours of that milk consumption. So I think for me, there's some kind of compromising effect with even the raw dairy, even like the milk kind of thing. I do really good with butter, though. I feel great with butter. I feel great with ghee. So it probably has to do more with that casein protein in the dairy that's affecting it.
Now, some cheese does. I mean, it just causes all sorts of symptoms with me. Sometimes I'm okay though. I don't do it too much. It's more of a treat, but when I do, it's great. But yeah, I like kombucha too. I like miso soup. I have some miso that I'll make at home, or sometimes if I go to like a Japanese restaurant, they'll have miso there. I know there's a bunch of other fermented foods too.
Got it. Yeah, absolutely. So I would say kombucha, GT Dave's. I love the ginger kind. Again, be careful. There's a lot of other kombuchas out there. You might as well be drinking soda, folks. I mean, yeah, you get some of the extra B vitamins and probiotics, but when you're getting 20 or 30 grams of sugar per, glass, that's not too good. So after kombucha, low sugar kombucha, GT Dave's my favorite. They should be a show sponsor, I think. Should reach out.
It's a good idea.
I know. Sauerkraut would be next. Love that.
I used to eat tons of sauerkraut as a kid. I haven't eaten much here recently.
Sauerkraut's great. I like Bubby's. Bubby's rocks. Kimchi is good too. That's kind of like your spicy sauerkraut, right? It's kind of like the Korean kind of Asian cultured veggies with some spices on there. Next, I'd say coconut kefir is a really great one, especially if you can avoid the carrageenan, such, some of those binders. So coconut kefir rocks. Next, I would say natto, which is like a fermented soy. Either natto, miso, or tempeh can be great. Tastes absolutely awful. I would never take my advice and actually eat it. But there's a lot of beneficial effects with enzymes and vitamin K2. People that are lacking in K2 can be a great source of it. After that, I would say yogurt. Say yogurt, if you can tolerate. You may do better with a goat or even a coconut kind of based yogurt to start. But if you can handle like a raw grass-fed cow one, that's great. On top of that, I would say a beet kvass is phenomenal as well. Beet kvass rocks, pretty good. Could be a little tasty too, and it's from beets. People don't get too much beet, so it's a really good hypoallergenic source.
Now, do you do probiotic supplements yourself? Do you take different capsules or spheres and things like that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I take a couple different kinds. I rotate through them. Again, it's so hard to get the amount of probiotics you really need through food. You can, but it's tough. I do sauerkraut. I do also fermented pickles are really great. I do kombucha. Those are my big three. And then I get some probiotics in just because some of the strains that I get in the probiotics I take, I don't really get in some of the food per se. So yeah, definitely. I definitely take some. I think we'll go to that really soon. We'll talk about some of the benefits and some different strains. Anything else you want to add about that?
No, I think that's good coverage there.
Okay, cool. So off the bat, there's a couple big probiotic brands that are out there. VSL3 is that big patented one. You got a whole bunch of different strains in there, the Bifidobacterium brevi and longum and infantis and Lactobacillus acidophilus, Lactobacillus plantarum, Lactobacillus paracasei, Bulgaris, Streptococcus thermophilus, right? These are all these big, Jeopardy sounding words. And that's in like the biggest that's like the medical grade probiotic. That's the VSL3. That's a really big one for IBS or IBD, etc. We have a couple of versions in the clinic that we use ourselves. One I like is by a company called Claire Labs. They have one called Therabiotic Complete that works great. We actually custom formulated one ourselves in the clinic called ProBioFlora. If you go to our website, we'll put it below. You can check our store. But that's one that has about 6 or 7 of those top strains, which are great. They're packaged in a sphere that allows maximal potency and absorption. A lot of people are looking at the CFUs. That's the colony forming units, on the bottle, how many you have. The best companies will always write down the CFUs at expiration, typically 2 years from the manufacture date. So if you see like 20 million or 30 million per capsule, the best companies will do it at expiration. So it's like typically 2 or 3 times that if it's 2 years from expiration. So that's good. The bad companies will put what's in there when it's manufactured. And then when you actually get it, it's probably, 50 to 70% reduced. So you got to be mindful of that. You're going to get what you pay for when it comes to probiotics. So I like If you're going to go to the medical route, the VSL3 is more of the medical sponsored one. Probiotic Complete's a great one. We have formulated ProBioFlora. That's a phenomenal one that we created. There's also specific prebiotics and phages in there that are great at feeding bacteria and also knocking down bad bacteria as well, because these phages are patented by Eli Lilly over 100 years ago. They were kind of going to be used before antibiotics were created and patented to knock down bacterial issues. And then antibiotics were created within 5 or 10 years after, and that was synthetic so they could patent it. So you can't patent natural things. So they went with the synthetic patent, and that, phage type of formula was just sat on the shelf, and a couple companies have taken it up and they're adding it into their probiotics to act as a prebiotic. Pre meaning it feeds good bacteria, it feeds it, and it also knocks down some of the bad ones. So that's the ProBioFlora that we have. The next I would add is one of my favorite that I typically combine is one called Megaspore. That's a phenomenal product that actually uses specific bacillus-based strains, bacillus coagulans strains that are very good. They tend to be anti-inflammatory, and they tend to be helpful even with people that are really sensitive to probiotics. They tend to do very, very well. So we have like the Bacillus subtilis, the Bacillus licheniformis. We have the Bacillus coagulans.
Does that one have the rhamnosus, Bacillus rhamnosus, RH?
I think it actually has that one as well. It has a couple of different Bacillus strains that are phenomenal, that are anti-H. pylori. And one of the things people forget about probiotics is they can really help influence inflammation, right? They can really reduce inflammation. And if you're having digestive symptoms, we typically talk about doing kind of the probiotics after the killing, kind of have that reseeding, refeeding effect. But we can do it actually even during killing or before, especially if it's helping with the inflammation, it's helping with the regularity, it's helping with the digestive symptoms. It can be a great way to reduce a lot of these symptoms naturally without creating problems.
Yeah, so the one that I was talking about, the rhamnosus, the reason I mentioned that one, that was when I first started getting into like researching about probiotics, and that was the one where they found that the Lactobacillus rhamnosus showed, quote unquote, significantly fewer stress, anxiety, and depression-related behaviors. This was in mice, obviously, but a lot of these things do translate over to humans. So I've seen many probiotics that contain that rhamnosus, so you could say it's an anti-anxiety effect
great.
too.
That's great. I love that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the rhamnosus is in the ProBioFlora that we formulated here. I'll pull that up in a second and I'll see if that's the case. Is there anything else that you wanted to add, Evan, to some of the probiotics that I listed? There's a few more I'm going to go after in a minute.
I think that's a pretty good cover. I mean, the truth is there's so many out there, and like you mentioned, if you're just rotating through, that's going to be the best way to ensure that you're covering your bases and you're not just sticking with one brand. The interesting thing is that I think it's called the Human Biome Project. It's that guy out in Africa where he's sampled the gut biomes of different people in Africa, and the variety of species in their gut is incredibly massive compared to us. Like United States people, we have very low variety in the species of beneficial bacteria, where Africans over there that are eating a more traditional diet, they have, I don't know, 5 times, 10 times, it was a crazy amount more of good bacteria. So that's just to say, vary your diet, get exposed to dirt, go play outside. You're going to get probiotics that way. There's some that live on your skin. It's not just in the gut. They're out there in the world. So yeah, clean your hands if you're in a nasty place, but it's fine to go and play in a lake and swim around and play in the dirt too.
Yeah, and you mentioned the rhamnosus was the anti-anxiety one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have that in the ProBioFlora. It's in the Lactobacillus rhamnosus, which is, again, That's another good one. And we see a lot of people when they go on these probiotics, they have significant mood benefits, whether it's anxiety, depression, or just even brain fog reduction. And we really hypothesize that that's really due to the inflammation reduction. Remember, inflammation in the gut, inflammation in the brain. So if we reduce inflammation in the gut, we're automatically having a very positive effect on the brain.
I think I'm going to go take some probiotics after this podcast. I didn't take mine today.
Love it. Love it. Next, I would say here would be prescriptive cysts. That's a good one. That's a much of a soil-based one.
See,
Again,
I've heard people having bad reactions to that, and I don't know why. I don't know if it was like a Herx reaction or what, but I remember hearing, I don't know if it was a client of mine or somebody else's, they said they started taking the soil-based stuff and they had like a flare-up. Do you know anything about that?
I've seen it from time to time. People that have significant gut bacteria balance ratios that are like off, like a lot of pathogenic bacteria, throwing good bacteria in a gut that's really out of balance can create this type of die-off reaction because of the competitiveness of the good bacteria with the bad. And we see this type of histamine response or probiotic intolerance where they feel like crap. So when that happens, prescriptive cyst probably wouldn't be the best. That's got 29 different soil-based strains. I typically go more to the Megaspore product because it's just more anti-inflammatory, and people that especially have like the extra lactate bacteria in there, the extra lactate, the D-lactate in there. The D-lactate's an organic acid made from the bad bacteria. We'll see that on an organic acid test. We'll go with more with the Megaspore and sometimes even the Probioflora because it'll help. It'll be more beneficial. But sometimes we can't even do that. Sometimes we really have to work on killing before we go in and actually do some of the reseeding. So we have to do more on the weeding, right, killing, and then do some of the seeding or throwing down the seeds. And when we throw down some of these probiotics, they're not going to last like forever. Some of these are just transient. They're going to go in for a couple of weeks, maybe a month, and then pass through us. That's why it's good to always have them in our diet or rotate them through every quarter or so, or get a new bottle here and there. And also have some fermented foods in your diet because they're not going to be living there forever. But while they pass through, they're having some really great benefits along the way.
Yeah, and something that you said without saying directly, there is an order of operations to this whole madness. There is a method to the madness. So if you hear this and you're like, oh man, I'm just going to go buy everything on the shelf and just go for it, maybe not. Maybe you may need to dig a little bit deeper first, because I've heard many stories, and I know you have too, where people, they hear something and then they go buy it and do it, and then they're like, why is this not working? Why is this not giving the effect? Well, there's other stuff under the hood that could be happening first.
Big time. I 100% agree with that. So when we deal with people with gut issues, again, making sure the big stressors for the gut are out, right? The sugar, the antibiotics, the pesticides, the chemicals, all that crap, the grains, gone. That's like number one. Number two, we'd want to dig in a little bit deeper, because if we're just taking probiotics but you have an infection, that can definitely mess things up. That's just like throwing down a whole bunch of seeds in your garden when there's a whole bunch of weeds there. So a lot of people are going to benefit from doing some weeding first. Again, some will actually benefit by throwing some probiotics down. You'll know because you'll feel better with the probiotics. You'll feel better. People that are more sensitive, the Megaspore or the Probioflora will be a better way to start. But from there, a good stool test will be required to see, is there a SIBO infection or overgrowth? Is there an H. pylori or a parasitic infection? Just had a patient 1 hour ago, came back with H. pylori, Giardia, and Blastocystis hominis, right? 3 major infections. We can't out probiotic those infections. We have to go in there and wipe them out, and then this person will benefit far more by adding in these awesome probiotics next.
Yeah, a lady, I think I was talking to you last week, she popped up with cryptosporidium. She was having this once a month. It was once a week or once a month. I can't remember what she said, where boom, diarrhea pops up and then it goes away. So that's been happening for years, and she never thought anything of it. It's just like, oh,
it's
that's
normal,
just
right?
That's my weekly diarrhea cycle, or whatever her time period was. I'm like, that's not normal at all.
I know. Yeah, what's normal and what's typical are two different things. And frankly, people don't know how good they can feel until you get them to that new level, and they look back and they're like, crap, how did I ever put up with that? Like,
I know.
It's just kind of like you don't realize how dirty you were until you take that clean shower and you're like, wow, like I feel really good right now.
Well, I think you get conditioned by the media too, right? Because every commercial is about XYZ drug or bowel problems or depression or whatever. So you think that you just have to tolerate it because everybody else has that. And it's like, no, just because it's common doesn't mean it's normal, and that you should just live with it, right? Just be a man. Just be tough. That's why our client base is heavily slanted towards females, because I think guys like us, I don't, but maybe guys in general have a problem admitting like, okay, something's messed up with my gut. I need to dig deeper and figure out what's going on.
Absolutely. I had someone I know come to me and they were just kind of complaining about some of like their health issues. And they were just saying, yeah, I'm just getting older and this is what you have to look forward to. And I'm just like, hell no. I'm like, you're eating grains. You're so inflamed. Your blood sugar's in a pre-diabetic range. Your gut flora is all messed up. You take antibiotics all the time. You don't have any beneficial flora in there. That is not my destiny. That's not my future. I am taking responsibility and accountability for my health. I'm investing in better foods, better supplements, sleep, etc. And again, this person could have the same benefits too, but they just don't have that awareness and haven't taken the time to educate themselves and also take the actions, right? You can educate yourself to the cows come home, but you actually have to put the right things in your body, do the right things with your body regarding rest and sleep to get the benefits.
So here's a question for you. You and I both will go out to certain restaurants. Now, obviously, we try to go high quality as possible. Is this something that you personally just turn an eye to where you're like, I know this is a good quality steak, but there could still be some antibiotics in it maybe? I mean, even the nicest steakhouse, they may not advertise antibiotic free. Do you just take some extra HCl and turn an eye to it? Do you drink the water at the restaurant? Like, what do you do?
Well, good, better, and best. I just put out an article for Paleo FX. It'll be out this weekend on how to stay healthy during the holidays. And I think the principles that were in that article ring true, but good, better, best, right?
Yeah.
If you follow Pareto's principle and you do the right stuff 80 to 90% of the time, I can get away with the suboptimal stuff. I can go to a steakhouse, get a really awesome, dry aged steak that may be grain or corn fed and get away with it. Yeah, I'll bring extra HCl and enzymes. And no, I'd never drink the water because I can just get some Pellegrino or some Voss, or in Austin, we do Topo Chico, which is mineral water. And I can get really good clean water sources. I bring my extra enzymes. Maybe I take some extra vitamin C or N-acetylcysteine or charcoal or fiber to help bind up any toxins. So good, better, and best. If there was a grass-fed steak on the menu, would I have chosen it? Heck yeah. If not, well, am I going to not eat an awesome steak like at Forbes Steakhouse up in California, or at the, what's the one I went to? It'll come to me here in a bit. Nice little steakhouse in Austin, one of the only steaks that are dry age down in Austin. And I went and I had it just last week and it was great. And I just did all the extra things I could do to mitigate the side effects.
Yep. I figured you'd say that. And I've tasted Austin tap water. It is not good. It tastes like grass. I mean, there's so much... It's awful. And I'm sure it's fluoridated too. Louisville tap water here is voted like one of the best tap waters ever, but it's still fluoridated. So in a pinch, you just have to do your best. Now, if I had like a Berkey system and filtered out this tap water, I would probably not do spring water anymore. I would probably just do tap and take out the fluoride because it tastes so good here.
Exactly. Yep. Totally. I agree. So with steaks and stuff, I always do my best. I mean, I'm not willing to not have a steak, but at home in my house, like I got grass-fed steaks. I got the grass-fed ribeyes. I got Delmonico's. I just buy those in advance and have them. So then I'm good to go. So then I can have a good, healthy steak at home. But when I go out, I do my best. If there's a grass-fed on the menu, I try to get it. And then you could even take some probiotics afterwards to mitigate any of the potential residual effects of any antibiotics being in there. But typically a good steakhouse, though, they're going to at least have the hormone-free stuff kind of dialed in.
Right. It's just funny how we have to have this discussion where 60 years ago it wouldn't have existed because there were no corn-fed cows.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it just comes down to like...
Everything was grass-fed.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, just to give a little props, Fleming's was the steakhouse here in Austin. Okay. They're a big chain, but I like them. They have really, really awesome dry-aged steaks. I mean, something about the dry-aged steaks, that's that little bit of a flavor they have off it. Oh, my gosh, it's amazing. I don't do them too often because you get all the extra grains and stuff in them, but or the potential residue. But when I go out, I really enjoy that. I bring the enzymes, the HCl, and all the stuff I mentioned, and it can be a good way to mitigate the damage.
That's cool.
So kind of summarizing here, we talked about some of the big foods, right? Probiotics, sauerkraut, fermented pickles, beet kvass, maybe some yogurt or cheese if you can handle it. We talked about our favorite probiotics, or my favorite at least, VSL3 or a Therabiotic Complete. My patented or my blend, the ProBioFlora, and then also Megaspore and Prescript Assist are a really good one. There's another one by Gardner Light called Ultra Defense. That's a good one. Or Primal Defense, I think. That's a good one. My go-tos are the ProBioFlora and the Megaspore, and sometimes the Therabiotic. Those are my my big ones there. And then outside of that, if you're having issues, you want to dig deeper, look at the gut infections. Look for H. pylori, look for other parasitic imbalances or even SIBO that could be really skewing the beneficial bacteria ratio.
That's great. Yeah, and a lot of people think, I'm in the United States, how am I going to have a parasite? It is far more common. I mean, before you and I started talking every week, I didn't think it was that common. But now that you and I both talk and test this stuff, it's like, wow, it is a lot more common than you would expect, parasites and different pathogens.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen it, statistically, the CDC says more than 60 to 70% of people on this planet have parasites. And again, yeah, a lot of that's going to be third world, but, up to, I'd say 50% of people in this country, in the U.S., probably have a parasitic infection. Now, the question is their immune system strong enough to kind of keep it at bay and kind of isolate it and keep it in a straitjacket? Yeah. But once you start getting sick, once you start getting stressed, once the HCl and the enzymes get compromised and the adrenals get compromised, bam. Now you're going to actually have to get that infection removed or eradicated typically before you really start to get better.
And everyone loses HCl with age. I mean, you look at Dr. Wright's book, Why Stomach Acid's Good for You. You see the chart of HCl production decreasing after about age 25, 30. It starts really dropping downhill. So it's no surprise that people have a midlife crisis at the same time all of these other, biochemical factors start going against you.
Yeah, and then, even CBS News here, it says the CDC says at least 15% of the United States population has a parasite. And I would gander to say that that's much higher because the typical labs that most doctors are using to diagnose parasitic infections are just terrible labs. They're your hospital-based lab. That's a single sample. They're not doing multivial. They're not looking at PCR, polymerase chain reaction, looking at DNA. They're really missing the boat on a lot of this stuff. And we see lots of people that have come in with their conventional LabCorp Quest or hospital stool testing with negative results, and then we run some of our more specific lab testing and they come back positive.
Yeah, that's the most mind-blowing part about all this is quality does matter in terms of lab testing. It's got to be a functional medicine-based lab company. You don't want it to be just your standard run-of-the-mill generic stuff. It doesn't cut it. I can't tell you how many times people, even with blood work, my doctor said all my blood work's perfect. Yeah, because they're measuring the blood that doesn't really change. That some measurements on your blood are not going to change even if you are sick. But as soon as you throw in even one biomarker like vitamin D, then you realize you're 50 points lower than you should be, That's when you get into the stuff that matters.
Yeah, not to mention the standard laboratory ranges are based on 95% of the population, right? 2 standard deviations in any direction for all you stats nerds out there. So go to an airport, you tell me that 95% of the population's healthy. No way in heck, all right? No way in heck. We know that typically a more optimal range would be kind of like that middle 25% of healthy people, and then you can go kind of to the slightly suboptimal to that middle 50% range, and then go out from there in different derivations. But to say 95% of the people are healthy and derive that laboratory range off that, no way.
Yep.
So we got to remember that. Lab tests can also be helpful if we're using functional ranges too.
Yep, totally.
Well, anything else you want to add to this stellar episode here, Evan?
That's it. This was fun. It was a good one.
So do you have any stuff in your store that's probiotic based that you want to recommend to the listeners?
I don't think so. I don't think I've put that on there yet. I'm slowly building up that store, as you know.
Yeah.
So I don't think right now I do. I will. I'm still coming up with my fancy probiotic name. I'm not sure what it is yet.
Yeah, we all kind of create the probiotics that we think are going to be the best, and I do it, 1, based on how I feel, and then 2, on how I can get my patients better, because I need to have a clinical effect so I can really help my patients who are sicker really get to a new level of health. So I like the ProBioFlora. I like Megaspore. Those are some great ones, and if anyone wants to pick that up, justinhealth.com/shop is a good place. Outside of that, all the other feedback's going to be helpful. And just don't forget one thing. This is so easy to forget, but the hormones are a really important piece, because a lot of people are super inflamed, and we forget that our natural anti-inflammatory comes from the adrenals. And if your adrenals are really shot, if that hormonal system 1's really in dire need of repair, it's going to be hard to regulate inflammation. And that's going to be an important piece, because if you can't regulate inflammation, your body's going to be in a more catabolic state, and it will just break down faster than it builds up, which isn't a good recipe.
Yep.
Anything else you want to add, Evan?
That's it. Go leave a review for the show on iTunes if you haven't already. It takes a couple minutes, but it's huge for us to stay in the top of the charts. We are competing with vegan podcast at the top of the charts, and maybe they're promoting organic produce, which we do too, so that's fine. But this is the only way that makes sense, what we're talking about here, to get people better and to live at that top 1% of the population in terms of vitality. So review that show. Help us be up in the top of the charts. We appreciate it.
Great. Just for everyone else too, Evan and I are in the trenches seeing patients every week. So a lot of podcasts that are out there are really just theoretical stuff, which is great. A lot of that's still true. It doesn't take away from it, but we're actually providing clinical, applicable information that's right there from our working with patients every week. So just kind of remember that, use it, apply it yourself, because if you're not applying it, it's not really, it's just, for Jeopardy knowledge. And just kind of remember that. And if you looking to dig a little bit deeper with your health, reach out to Evan, reach out to myself if you're kind of on the fence. And again, continue sharing this info with people that could really benefit from it.
Yeah, practice is more important than just theory. And a lot of people are just theory. I think this, I think that, and they put it up and the world's like, I'm going to try it. But it's never been proven with a client like we're doing. So keep that in mind when you're listening.
Yeah, knowledge is really only power if it's applied.
Yep.
Cool. Awesome. Well, this may be the last podcast before Christmas and the holidays here, but hopefully not. But if it is, happy holidays to everyone and a happy new year too.
Absolutely. Likewise, man.
All right, Evan, have a good one.
You too. Bye.
Bye.
Got a question for Dr. J? Go to beyondwellnessradio.com and click the questions button. Then tune in to hear the answer. Also, if you like the show, click below to review us on iTunes. For more Beyond Wellness Radio, go to beyondwellnessradio.com.